Well, hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. So, in this episode, I will give you the buyer's guide for the latest, greatest Orbea Orca M20i Team road bike, and this is their latest model for the 23-24 season. And also, at the end of this episode, I will give you a brief comparison with the main competitor to this bike. So, let's talk about this newest Orbea Orca. So, this Orbea Orca, the brief for this bike and the main focus was on lightweight. So, who is this bike for? Simply said, if you are in the market for the lightweight climbing bike, which is going to be a bit on the stiffer side, then definitely you should consider this latest iteration of Orbea Orca bikes. Also, I have to mention here that retail price of this bike is 6,000 US dollars. So definitely, one of those a bit on the eye-watering side prices. But we will dive into the specifications and really see what do you get for your money. I will just mention here when it comes to paint schemes, I believe Orbea has done an excellent job. There are three paint schemes to choose from. There is this very classical volcano black, totally blacked out. Then there is this beautiful ivory white with burgundy. As I like to say, it goes very nicely with a glass of red wine from Burgundy. And then the third option is this beautiful metallic blue with a hint of silver. So all in, Orbea is famous for their customization options, and this is excellent to see that you can choose three paint schemes on this bike at, of course, 6,000 US dollars retail price. Okay, now we can dive into the specifications of this bike and really see what will you get for your hard-earned money. So first thing first, frame and the fork. So frame and the fork are Orbea's carbon OMR level frame and the fork. So this is not the highest level Orbea can do. Their highest level of carbon fiber is their OMX level, which of course this Orbea has, but then the prices become much higher. So this OMR level of the carbon frame is kind of the second tier. It has, of course, internal cable routing, 12mm through axles, and this is the BB386 bottom bracket. When it comes to the fork, as I said, OMR carbon fiber fork, 12mm through axle, and flat mount disc brakes. Orbea's frames come with a lifetime warranty, which is excellent, and definitely I have no complaints here about this carbon frame and the fork. Now let's talk about the group set on this bike, because I believe this is definitely one of the highlights of this bike. So, when you look at the crankset on this bike, it is the Shimano's Ultegra 5034 crankset, and here Orbea also gives you a bit of customization if you want to add, for example, a power meter. If you want to change the chain rings, you can. For example, if you go with the option of the left side power meter from 4i, it will cost you extra 270 US dollars. And I think this is a very good offer. If you are more serious about training and racing, you should definitely tick this option and get yourself a 4i power meter for extra 270 US dollars. Immediately when you look at the cassette, Shimano Ultegra cassette, 12 speed, 1130 cassette. And also here, if you want a bigger range, you can upgrade to 1134 cassette without any extra payments. Personally, I would upgrade to this 1134 cassette just because it's going to give you so much more range and it's going to give you this 1-to-1 gear ratio when it's compared with the crankset. Okay, now let's talk about the shifters, front mech and the rear mech. Here, everything is Shimano's Ultegra Di2 electronic group set. So this is the 12-speed electronic group set from Shimano. Absolutely stunning and amazing group set. I have no complaints here. This stuff is going to work perfectly fine. Also, I have to mention here that the chain, they didn't cut corners. They are using the Shimano's M8100 chain. So this is from the Shimano's mountain bike world, Shimano's XT level chain. perfectly fine and superb chain. And also in the future, when you destroy this chain in the cassette, I always advise you to keep it on the levels of Shimano Ultegra chain in the cassette, or you can definitely use the Shimano's XT level, XTR level chains on this components on this bike. Okay, some smaller pieces on the bike, like the handlebar and the stem. So the stem is the OC owned production from Orbea aluminum stem, and the handlebar is also the in-house production aluminum handlebar. As I see here, you have an option to upgrade to the carbon fiber handlebar. Personally, I wouldn't bother with that. Okay, it is an extra 160 US dollars, but I don't think you need this carbon fiber handlebar. Now the braking system on the bike, Shimano's Ultegra hydraulic disc brakes front and back, with the Shimano's Ultegra braking rotors, which is absolutely superb. Great stopping power and great heat dissipation. But I have to mention here, there's one thing that's a bit disappointing in my opinion. As I see from the images, it seems to me that the rear braking rotor is 140 millimeters, while the front one is 160 millimeters. So this 140 millimeters at the back, I would immediately replace. Okay, once when you destroy it, I would replace it with 160 millimeter braking rotor, just because you'll have so much better heat dissipation and stopping power. I really don't understand why bike manufacturers use these small 140 millimeter braking rotors, because it just doesn't make sense. 160 millimeter rotors on a road bike are so much better option. Okay, now let's talk about the wheel set on this bike, because again, it is one of the highlights on the bike. So this is the Orbea's own production wheel set from this season, and I'm really not sure how to properly pronounce this wheel set. So it's OQUO Road Performance wheel set. Specifically, this is their RP35 wheel set. So the retail price of this wheel set, if you would buy it on the open market, is 1,600 US dollars. And this is a carbon fiber wheel set from Orbea. And I have to mention here that the total weight is 1,465 grams, which is very good in my opinion. It uses this new bit of rim technology, which they call mini hook technology. It has an internal rim width of 21 millimeters, and it uses Zip ZR1 hubs. Okay, I hope these Zip ZR1 hubs are going to be, good and work perfectly fine, because sometimes you might hear some people complaining and having problems with Zip hubs. I hope these series don't have the problem. Of course, this wheel set has 24 spokes front and the back, and here they are using Sapim Sprint spokes, aluminum spokes on this wheel set, and this wheel set will come prepared tubeless ready, so tubeless valve, tubeless tape, everything included, which is very good in my opinion. So all in, a very good offering for a carbon fiber wheel set from Orbea with their new brand of OQUO. I'm not a big fan of this name, but maybe somebody can explain how to properly pronounce it. This wheel set is wrapped in Vittoria Corsa Next tires. These are 28C tires front and the back, so excellent, a lot of air volume and a smooth bike ride. And definitely, in the future, when you destroy these tires, you can definitely stick with Vittoria tires. They are superb. You can also have a look at Continental tires, Pirelli tires, Goodyear tires. There's so many, tires now in the market, which are truly, truly excellent. I have to mention here that when it comes to the saddle and the seat post, so saddle, Physique Vento saddle with aluminum rails, and you also have a chance here to choose from, Pro Logos saddle, Physique Antares saddle, Physique Antares with carbon rails, so there are lots of options here if you want to upgrade this saddle. Since saddles are a personal preference, maybe you have a certain saddle that you truly like, and then just, keep it and fit it on this bike. Seat post is a classical carbon fiber seat post from Orbea, 27.2 millimeters, superb, nothing proprietary here, so that's great. And as I see here, again, a bit of customization, where you can just play a bit with the setback on this saddle and choose a 0 millimeters of setback. So, all in, when we consider this Orbea Orca M20i Team road bike for 6,000 US dollars. What would be my advice to you considering the competition for this bike? So the main competitor for this bike, in my opinion, is the Canyon Ultimate CF SLX8 Di2. I made a more detailed video about these bikes. You can find it in my library, but briefly. The retail price is 5,500 US dollars, so there is a saving of 500 US dollars compared to Orbea. And here you are getting again a superb level carbon fiber frame in the fork from Canyon. This is their also second level carbon fiber frame in the fork. You are also getting Shimano's Ultegra Di2 electronic group set, so full group set, shifters, front mech, rear mech, cassette, crankset, everything, and also Shimano's Ultegra hydraulic disc brakes. And definitely a superb highlight here is the DT Swiss Arc 1400 carbon fiber wheel set, which in my opinion is definitely much better than the Orbea Zone production wheel set. So this is a huge, advantage and a secret sauce of this bike, and of course a bit of carbon fiber combinations on the handlebar, stem, seat post. And the total weight of this bike in some kind of size medium is 7.14 kilograms. So I would expect the Orbea Orca M20i Team to be on the same levels of about 7.2 kilograms. But all in, if it's my money on the line, I would definitely go with the Canyon Ultimate CF SLX8 Di2 at 5,500 US dollars. And this Orbea, I would definitely shortlist and test ride it. And if the bike shop can match the price of 5,500 US dollars, then definitely it is a strong competitor to that Canyon Ultimate bike. As it is now, it's just a little bit too expensive compared with the Canyon Ultimate CF SLX8 Di2. But definitely for this Orbea Orca M20i Team, you should definitely shortlist it because it's a very good offering from Orbea for the 2024 season. So this is going to be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, keep on subscribing, and I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!